Alright, now I'm going to give you guys basic measurement instructions. The luge that you build needs to be measured for the person that is going to ride it. So if I'm building a luge for my brother, I'm going to measure my brother. And here, I'm actually building a luge for my friend, and I have already measured him, and my measurements are already written down, but I'm going to demonstrate the sections that you have to measure the body on my lovely fiance Hannah. Alright, the head section is from the middle of the neck to the top of the head. Alright, so you're going to measure from the middle of the neck to the top of the head, and you're going to add 8 inches. The torso section is from the bottom of the butt to the middle of the neck, and you add 8 inches. Alright? You're going to use 1 torso section length and 2 head sections. Alright? So on Hannah, she is 29 inches from the bottom of her butt to the middle of her neck. And then you're going to add 8 inches to that 29, and that is the length that you will cut your torso section. For her head, she has about 8.5 inches. So you're going to add another 8 inches on top of that. Alright, once you got your measurements that you've taken from the person the luge is being built for, you're going to go to your saw and cut it. I've already cut these out, but I'm going to show you guys the angles that you need to cut. One thing that I do, you don't have to do this, but is imagine that this is your full length 2x4, alright? Put it on your saw and just barely shave the very end of the 2x4 off. What that does is, in case the 2x4 is a little bit angled at the end, all that's doing is making sure that you have a nice straight square place to measure off of. Okay? So, and keep in mind too that a lot of 2x4s, usually they staple a tag to one end. You don't want to cut through the staple with your saw blade. And by the way, this isn't plugged in, so. But anyway, do that little shave off, alright? Then you're going to take your tape measure, which I put somewhere. Take your tape measure, measure out the length of your headpiece, and one of your headpieces, you're going to make 2 of those, alright? So remember, you're going to make 2 headpieces that are the same length. One is going to be for the foot end of the board, and obviously the other one's going to be your head, but they're both the same length. So, on your 2x4, measure it out, alright? You're going to set your saw at 45-degree angle. And then line up your blade with your mark and cut your 45, okay? You want to make sure that the top is the length that you need. Obviously, when you do your angle, you're going to lose a little bit here, but that's okay. You just want to make sure the top is the length that you measured for the headpiece. Cut 2 of those. Here's my 2 pieces. It doesn't matter which angles, which sides you cut them on, because they'll both end up being the same. This one is a different story, though, your torso piece, because one of your angles is going to be opposing the other angle, okay? You can go ahead and measure this one out and cut it, and then you're going to measure from the top here down to your length. But you have to either flip the board around to get your angle, or switch the saw the other direction to get the other angle. Okay? You want to make sure that both of these angles are opposing. You see, you should be able to see that, alright? Like this. You don't want them to be parallel. If you look down on it, you don't want them to look like this. You don't want this piece to look like that with the angles parallel to one another. You want them opposite. Okay? And now all you do is, and remember I'm doing this one a little different than the other one, so I'm not using a spacer. But now what you do is you will cut your spacer to length and put that in there. Basically what I like to do is, where did I put the tape measure again? Here it is. I will put the head pieces, the head piece and the foot piece, in about 6 inches. Alright? So mark it at 6 inches on the top. Alright? And I use a speed square. You don't have to use this, it's just convenient. Alright? Put it on there, get your straight line. Actually, draw your line, and that is how far in that piece will go. Okay? Now, here is where your piece of plywood will go, since you're using 2x4s. Alright? You'll cut a strip. That's what I did. I just cut a strip 3.5 inches wide, which is the same width as our chassis. Alright? And I put an angle on it on one end to match this 45-degree angle. Alright? And then you just draw a line on the back side of that. Okay? And you angle it in parallel to that. Okay? And then just cut that so it matches this bottom torso piece. Alright? And it'll end up looking just like this. Right here, you see how the angles match. That's all you gotta do. It's real simple.